Hello and welcome to Rathod's IAS. Today in this session we are going to discuss one burning issue which is in news, and this topic is very important from your prelims and mains point of view. So let us see some news articles and let us see which topic we are going to discuss in this class. And please don't skip the class. So watch until end so that you will be getting lots and lots of insights of this topic for sure. I am assuring you that. So if you see these images, okay, you can see this topic we are going to discuss, it is somewhat related to corals. So this corals you will be studying in your environment and ecology and even geography point of view. So this video, it is covering the current affairs of corals. Title says NOAA confirms 4th global mass coral bleaching event, and this article is saying that NOAA ICRI confirms 4th global mass coral bleaching event in 2023 to 2024. And next one is heat stress is plunging the world's coral reefs into crisis. And not only these three articles, but there are also other articles which are telling about these same thing. That is, satellites watch as 4th global coral bleaching event unfolds. And next one is 4th global mass coral bleaching triggered. What are corals? Why are they important? So I covered this news from different newspapers like even Indian Express, Hindu, and as well as print and as well as down to earth, different sources I covered. Okay, so now let us see this topic in detail. So what is the topic today? Yes, topic it is about 4th mass coral bleaching event. So first of all, I will tell you what we are going to discuss in this class so that you will be getting some idea, right? So this class, it is about coral bleaching. And this topic is important from your GS1 under geography and even GS paper 3 under environment and ecology. And let us see the dimensions. So first we have to see why it is in news. Because whenever any topic which is present in our syllabus, it is in news means there is a very high chance of getting question. Yes. So as an UPSC aspirant, you need to know that topic. Yes. So you have to get updated with the current affairs. So for that only we are having this class. So you have to know why it is in news first of all. And you have to see what is the meaning of corals. And you have to see different types of corals. And already in UPSC prelims you had question like corals which are present in India, like in which parts in India we have these corals. So that is important. And next you have to see what is this concept of coral bleaching, and also one more word, that is coral death. Okay, coral death and coral bleaching. And you have to see what is this mass coral bleaching. Mass coral bleaching. So actually this article is saying that we are having this 4th mass coral bleaching in year 2023 to 2024. So here one more important task you have to see is, so when this 1st, 2nd and 3rd mass coral bleaching events happened, so from there also you can expect a question. And you have to see what is the significance of corals. And we are saying coral bleaching and coral death is happening. You have to see what will be the impact. And apart from that, you have to see what are the measures we are taking. And you have to see what is the way forward. What is the way forward? And apart from that, so I added 2 mains questions at the end of class and as well as 2 prelims practice questions. Okay, 2 mains questions and 2 prelims practice questions. So all these things we are going to discuss in this class. I hope you got some idea like what we are going to see in this class. So let's get started. So why it is in news first of all? So here US National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, that is NOAA. So NOAA said that yes, we are having this 4th global mass coral bleaching event. Why? The important reason which is cited by this NOAA is increasing of ocean temperatures. So only it is saying one reason, but we are going to see like what are the other reasons that triggered this 4th global mass coral bleaching event. And here the second important thing you have to see is, according to European Union Copernicus Climate Change Service, that is C3S, also said that there is increasing of average sea surface temperature. There is increasing of average sea surface temperature, and if you see this month, so we have record of 21.07 degrees centigrade and it is very high. And this 4th mass coral bleaching, that could going to have a serious consequences of ocean life. And because of this, million people who are relying on this coral reefs, for example, they are relying for food or for livelihood, for coastal defense, for jobs, so they are going to be affected a lot. And for that people, so here we can say like they are more vulnerable and they are going to face serious consequences because of this 4th mass coral bleaching event. So this is the thing that you have to know why it is in news. And now let us see this topic of what is this corals. So here whenever you are reading this corals, you will be coming across this word called as polyp. And many students, they will be getting confused with this, what is this coral and what is this polyp, right? So here in this image you can see these are like small organisms. So these organisms are called as polyp. So these polyps, they are invertebrates. Okay, so they belongs to this invertebrates. So what is the meaning of invertebrates? So they do not have spine. So for vertebrates, they will be having this spine. Okay, spine, it is nothing but backbone. But these invertebrates, they do not have the spine. That is the meaning of invertebrates, and they belongs to class called as Cnidaria. Okay, Cnidaria class. So actually these are like sessile organisms. They are very soft and they are like very small and they are sessile organisms. So what is the meaning of sessile? Sessile means they can't move. There will be no movement. So they will be sticking to some hard surface and they will be sticking to that, and you can see like small tentacles here. So by using these tentacles, so they will be trapping the food and they will be pushing the food into the mouth. So this part is mouth of this, and this is pharynx, and this is the septum, and these are the tentacles. So this is the anatomy of this polyp. So actually these polyps, they are not living as a single organism, but they will be living in the groups. Thousands of polyps, they live together, and that is called as colony. Okay, polyps, they are living like thousands, millions, they will be living together and they are called as colonies. So what happens here is, so this polyps, they will be having mutual relationship with algae. So this algae is called as zooxanthellae. So zooxanthellae is algae. They are having like mutual thing, okay, mutualism. So where this zooxanthellae is living? So in tentacles part. So in the cells of this tentacles of this polyp, they will be living. And because of this zooxanthellae, so this polyp will be appearing as different colors. But what is this corals? Corals are nothing but, so with the mutual relationship between zooxanthellae as well as corals, so corals, they will be building hard structures which are made up of calcium carbonate. So group of this polyps with this hard structures, we are calling them as corals. Clear? Clear the concept? Everything is clear, right? And now let us talk about what is this mutual relationship between these corals and this algae. So algae, it is commonly called as zooxanthellae. So here zooxanthellae getting the place to live in. So it is living inside the cells of the tentacles of polyp. So it is getting shelter, and even this polyps, they will be giving like the products which are necessary for the photosynthesis. And after this zooxanthellae, which is doing photosynthesis and which is preparing the food, so that food will be given to these corals, and that will be helpful for generation of this calcium carbonate shells. Okay, clear? So in this way, both these corals and as well as zooxanthellae, they will be get benefited if they are living together. So this is the mechanism of this coral autonomy, and I said about what is this mutual relationship between this algae and zooxanthellae. And now let us move on. So if you are talking about types of corals, we have two types. So one is hard corals. That means they will be having very hard calcium carbonate structures. You can see these are very hard calcium carbonate structures. So because of this, we are calling them as reef building corals. So they are called as reef building corals. And these soft corals, they do not build these reefs. So they are very soft and they will be looking like plants with different colors. Okay, and we can say the soft corals are the largest living species in the oceans. And here you can see this image, how pleasant they are. So this is like looking like tree, right? So this is soft coral, and even here we can see some hard corals and some soft corals are present together. And I want to show you one more image. So this is an example of hard coral. Okay, so this is an example of hard coral. So where you can see this type of structures. Okay. Okay, let us see exactly where these coral reefs are present in India. So in these coastal regions, we have these corals. For example, here in this Gulf of Kutch region, and here in this West Coast region, and here we have Lakshadweep, and here we have Gulf of Mannar, and in this Pak Bay, and in this Nicobar, and some parts of Andaman. So we have these corals. So but here we can see like this part, Sundarbans, but these Sundarbans, they are not corals. It is very important. So many students, they will be thinking that even Sundarbans are corals, but they are mangroves. So this was the question which appeared in your previous year's prelims. So mangroves is not coral, it is like they are having the Sundarbans or Sundari trees. Okay, so this is about coral reefs in India. And now let us try to talk about what is the significance of these corals. And this significance part is very important for your mains. Okay, so first one is, we are calling these corals as rainforest of sea. Why? Because they support around 25% of marine biodiversity. And even we can see like different species of animals, okay, which belongs to this marine species. You are seen here. For example, you can say turtle, you can say different kinds of fishes, lobsters, and about 1% of sea floor which are being occupied by these corals. And especially you might be knowing about this Great Barrier Reef of Australia. So it contains around 400 coral species and about 1500 fish species, and even about 4000 molluscan species are present in this Great Barrier Reef. And even 6 of world's 7 sea turtle species, they are seen in this Great Barrier Reef. So because of this, we are calling these corals as rainforest of the sea. And next one is, these corals, they are also providing lots and lots of economic value. Like coral structures, they provide economic goods and services. So they are worth around $375 billion each year, and more than 500 million people across the world, they are dependent on this coral reef for their food and as well as income. And next one is coastal protection. Coral reefs, they absorb around 97% of energy from waves and as well as storms, floods, so that it is preventing even loss of life, loss of property during this waves and as well as floods, etc. Okay. So if there are absence of coral reefs, means it may result in severe ramifications for marine life and humans. So this is about overall significance. And now let us see the concept of coral bleaching. So what is this concept? So as you all know that, so this is polyp and it is having mouth here, right? So in these tentacles, so we have zooxanthellae. So we have zooxanthellae algae in these cells which are present in these tentacles, and they are living under mutual relationship between corals and zooxanthellae. So whenever there are extreme conditions or whenever there is stress, for example increasing of temperature and increasing of turbidity and ocean acidification, and whenever there is increasing of pollution and whenever there is increase of nutrients, etc., in extreme conditions, so these zooxanthellae which is present in these cells of tentacles, they will be expelled. Okay, they will be expelled. So because of this, what happens, these polyps, they will be appear like colorless. Colorless means like white in color. So this is called as coral bleaching. So actually the color of this corals is because of this zooxanthellae. So whenever zooxanthellae is coming out, it is expelled, means the corals will be appearing in white color. So because of this, we are calling this event as coral bleaching. So what is this concept of coral death then? So coral death is nothing but in extreme, very severe condition, the death is happening. The death of this polyp is happening, right? For example, if this coral bleaching is happened, so again if there are favorable conditions, so whenever there are any favorable conditions, and then they again regenerate, okay? But in extreme conditions, if you are not going for regeneration, finally that will lead to death of this polyp, that is called as coral death. Clear? So this is the concept. And now let us see the images. So earlier you saw the images of like healthy coral. It was like very pretty, different colors. But now if you see these images, how they are looking? They are not looking nice, right? So if you want to go to this place, no, right? So if the place is colorful, you will be going there. If the place is like everything is white and colorless, pale, so are you interested? So you will be not getting any interest, right? So that is the thing which is happening now. And even fishes, they are not coming, okay? And even marine organisms, they are not interested to go this. So this rainforest will be get affected. So now let us see about this mass coral bleaching event. So when happened? So you have to know this history as well. So first mass bleaching event which occurred in year 1998. So at that time what happened? El Nino weather pattern caused increasing of sea surface temperature in Pacific Ocean region. So because of this, that led to death of 8% of world's corals. So this was like the first phase of global coral mass bleaching. And second mass bleaching that happened near 2010, because of this second mass bleaching, that led to destruction of 35% of corals. So if you compare with this first event to second event, first event there was just 8%. It increased to 35% in the second mass event. And this third mass coral bleaching that took place from 2014 to 2017. It is also in the recent past. And affected reefs in Guam, in Western Pacific region, and North-South Pacific region and Indian Ocean region. And again it had been increased to 56% of coral reefs. They had been affected across world. 835 to double it is 56%. And now let us see data of fourth mass event. So this fourth global bleaching event which occurred underway, it is going on. So because of this event, nearly 54 countries, territories and local economies from which area? From Florida, okay, from Florida, from US, Saudi Arabia to Fiji, they have confirmed coral bleaching. And this bleaching had been confirmed in Western Indian Ocean as well, including Tanzania, Kenya, Mauritius, Seychelles, and even the western coast of Indonesia. So in all these regions now you are seeing this coral bleaching event, and it will be like more than that 56% that we saw in this third mass bleaching event. Clear? So this is the data about this earlier mass bleaching events. And now let us see other important topics like what are the causes. So actually whatever the articles that I read, they said that yes, because of increasing of sea temperature. So because of increasing of sea surface temperature, that led to this mass coral bleaching. But apart from that, we can also see some other important reasons. So because of increasing of temperature, what happens is, so there will be increased carbon dioxide absorption. So because of increased carbon dioxide absorption, that will lead to ocean acidification. So because of this ocean acidification, that will lead to coral bleaching and as well as coral death. And next one is because of changing in the tropical weather pattern, that is reducing this formation of clouds. Okay. So because of changing in temperature and as well as climate change, weather, etc. So that led to decreasing in the formation of clouds. So because of this decreasing of formation of clouds, there will be decreasing of albedo. Yes or no? So albedo is nothing but the reflection capacity. Okay. So there is reducing of albedo. So because of this, there is increased solar radiation on the Earth's surface. Again, that will lead to increasing of temperature, and even there is increased ultraviolet radiation as well because of this temperature or because of this weather patterns which are seen in this tropical region. And next one is infectious diseases. So whenever there is increasing of temperature, that will lead to the good growth of bacteria. So that bacteria will be inhibiting photosynthesis. Okay, that bacteria will be inhibiting photosynthesis in this zooxanthellae. Okay, so because of this expulsion of this zooxanthellae will be happening, that will lead to coral bleaching. And next one is chemical pollution. So whenever there is increasing of chemicals which we are releasing into water, that will cause chemical pollution. So whenever there is increasing of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, that will lead to increasing of nutrition. So because of increasing of nutrition, there will be very high growth of phytoplankton. Yes or no? So because of this high growth of phytoplankton, that will inhibit this corals and coral growth and as well as zooxanthellae. And next one is human induced threats, for example overfishing and releasing of waste into the water, and because of vehicular emissions, that's leading to global warming. So all these are the reasons or the causes for this fourth mass coral bleaching event. Clear? And now let us move on to next concept, that is what will be the consequence of coral bleaching. What happens? So it is affecting the food chain. So you know about this food chain, right? So one organism is eaten by another organism is eaten by another organism. So this is like a chain. So here whenever these corals which are affected, so it is affecting this food chain, especially marine food chain, marine ecosystem, marine biodiversity, because we are considering these corals as rainforest. And next one is it will also leads to loss of biodiversity. So in this biodiversity, we can see like species biodiversity and genetic biodiversity. So both this species and genetic biodiversity will be get affected because of this coral bleaching. And next one is many people who are living in these coastal regions, so their livelihood is fishing, and even they will be acting as local guides. And whenever there is coral bleaching, that will be affecting tourism sector. And because of this, it will also leads to economic decline. And next one is it will also leads to affecting of food availability. So what happens here is, as you all know that corals are rainforest, and many species of fishes, turtles, they will be coming into these places. But whenever this coral bleaching is happening, fishes, they will be going into other areas. So because of this, especially it will be affecting the food availability in that region. And even if there is coral death, actually these corals, they will be acting as a protection, right, from floods, from waves, because they will be absorbing the energy. But if there is a coral bleaching means, so it will be having negative impact on this coral protection as well. So in this way, we are having lots and lots of negative consequences because of this coral bleaching. So is that clear? So if you have any doubts, please post your doubts in the comment section. And let us see like what are the measures we can take, like already taken by the government for protecting of these corals. So first one is, so it is like a global problem. It is not a problem of either India, Pakistan or China, right? So it is like a global problem. So because of this, we are having institutions of international organization. So we need to come with international organization to deal with such type of problems. So International Coral Reef Initiative we have, and we have Global Coral Reef Monitoring Network, and as well as Global Coral Reef Alliance, and next one is Global Coral Reef R&D Accelerator Platform. So all these are the different organizations at international level, so they are dealing with this issue of coral bleaching. And next one is biological restoration. So in this biological restoration, we are using methods for promotion of coral growth and even transplanting to assist the restoration of coral reef. And especially here we are focusing on asexual propagation and as well as coral gardening. And next one is structural restoration. So in this structural restoration, we are focusing on construction of artificial reefs, or we are going for relocation of rocks or dead coral heads. And the important goal of this structural restoration is to increase the amount of reef structure and as well as habitat which is available for the corals and other reef organisms to grow on. So this technology is nothing but bio-rock technology. And apart from that, we are focusing on even physical restoration. So in this physical restoration, we are focusing on the conditions which are required for the regeneration of corals. Okay, so these are some important things we are taking. So these are the initiatives which are focusing on protection of corals. Okay, so now I said about everything regarding corals. I want to give you one homework, like what are the measures? So what are the measures, or like what is a way forward? So let us take what is the way forward. So what is the way forward now? So if you have listened causes carefully, then you can write. So here your homework is write at least 4 to 5 points that in this part of way forward in the comment box. Don't forget. And now let us see the questions. So first one is, what do you understand by coral bleaching? Simple, you have to write definition. And examine the reasons for coral bleaching. Very simple. And you have to suggest corrective measures in this regard. So write answer within 250 words. Very simple, right? After listening the concept, now let me know, are you able to write the answer for this question or not? And let us see the second question, that is, discuss the causes of depletion of corals and explain their importance in marine ecosystem. Okay, so you have to write causes and you have to explain the importance, that is significance of corals. So it is also a very simple question. So here word limit is just 150 words. And now let us see prelims questions. So first one is with reference to coral reef, consider the following statements. First one here is coral is a symbiotic relationship with zooxanthellae, microscopic fungi which live on corals. And next one is only hard corals build reefs. And next one is there are also deep water corals in the colder regions. Which of the above statements is or are correct? So please let me know your answer in the comment box. And next question. Which of the following have coral reefs? Andaman and Nicobar. Next one is Gulf of Kutch, Gulf of Mannar, Sundarbans. Select the correct answer using the code given below. So if you have watched or if you have listened the explanation part for coral reefs in India, you can easily answer this question. So this is about the burning issue in current affairs, that is fourth phase coral bleaching event, and this topic is at most important from your prelims and mains. So by this I am concluding, and before concluding I want to make a small announcement. We in Rathod's IS we are going to launch new batch of offline foundation course from May 27th, and there is 50% fee refund policy also. So if you want to join that course, you can contact me directly, or you can come to office which is present in Ashok Nagar, Hyderabad at pillar number 36, or else you can call me on this number 8074765513. And even this is WhatsApp number, you can message me or text me on WhatsApp. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. So if you really like this class, hit the like button, and please do share this class with your friends, and do subscribe to Rathod's IS Academy. And thank you so much for watching.